Nirav Modi, the billionaire jeweler who along with others scammed Punjab National Bank of over rupees 11,400 crores, has fled the country. Apparently he was spotted in Switzerland, or was it New York? We don't know. But what exactly is the scam? The Central Bureau of Investigation has registered a case against Nirav Modi on January 29th. PNB registered a case against Modi, his brother Nishal and his uncle Mehul Choksi on February 13th. The bank initially reported a scam of rupees 280 crores, but it was later realized to be 11,400 crores. This is a lot of money. So how does one get away with a scam of such magnitude, possibly one of the biggest in India's banking history? Let's break it down. Nirav Modi is an importer of diamonds. Importers prefer to take loans in foreign currencies as interest rates on that are lower. What Modi then had to do was approach Punjab National Bank and ask for buyer's credit, essentially a loan that is taken from an overseas bank and guaranteed by PNB. In order to do this, PNB had to issue a letter of undertaking or LOU to an overseas bank. A LOU basically guarantees an overseas bank that if it lends money for a specified period to a client identified by the home bank, in this case PNB, then the home bank will assure that the money will be returned to the overseas bank. Most of these overseas banks are Indian banks with foreign branches. Note that the assurance is directly between the overseas bank and the home bank. So the overseas bank gives the loan directly to PNB, not Nirav Modi. Basically, an account is created by PNB called a Nostro account, to which the overseas bank lends the loan. PNB has alleged that the money raised against these LOUs may not have actually been used to pay for imports, but rather for some other purposes, maybe even money laundering. There are multiple theories on how the LOUs could have been misused. It could be that a new LOU was issued each year since 2012 to cover the old ones, sort of like a Ponzi scheme, or that the existing LOUs were continually extended. Now the question is, how did PNB issue so many LOUs? LOUs are generally given when the home bank has an approved line of credit for the client. As part of its due diligence, PNB should have verified Nirav Modi's creditworthiness. The other way to establish liability would have been to ask Modi to present collateral equal to or greater than the loan amount requested. PNB did neither. So how did all this go unnoticed? The LOUs are delivered through SWIFT, which are coded messages used in international banking and transactions. In India, all banking records are saved on the core banking system. Generally, CBS and SWIFT transactions are both recorded on one interface, but surprisingly, PNB didn't have this mechanism. When this technology has not been implemented, the bank usually ensures that the CBS and SWIFT records are in sync and manually records them. But PNB didn't do this either. The bank claims that rogue employees helped Nirav Modi with the LOU scam. But honestly, this is kinda hard to believe. SWIFT accounts go through a 3-tier verification system to create, check and authorize the transaction. So bank employees at different levels are complicit in the fraud, or in the rare case, completely negligent. It is difficult to believe that the top management at PNB would not be aware of huge loans being guaranteed in the name of the bank without any collateral or backing. So PNB is not exactly the victim of the fraud as it claims to be. In fact, some bank officials clearly encourage this. Let's see who else is responsible for the scam. PNB's auditors for negligence, overseas banks such as Allahabad Bank, Union Bank of India and Axis Bank for overlooking the Nostro accounts, RBI for gross negligence and not enforcing stricter lending norms, the Finance Ministry because the government is the biggest shareholder in public sector banks and PNB is the second biggest public sector bank. So how will PNB repay this money to foreign banks? Out of 11,400 crore rupees, PNB will try to recover some of the amount from Nirav Modi's assets. The rest will be repaid by the bank using its own money, which will erode its capital base. The government might infuse some money to help the bank, essentially using taxpayer money. The case so far. Over 10 PNB employees have been suspended so far, and at least 4 have been arrested. Nirav Modi, his brother, his uncle, and his wife are on the run. But for how long? Nirav Modi sent a letter to PNB stating that he owes them much less, under 5,000 crore rupees, and that he can't pay it back now because of the FIR and raids against his companies. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley finally broke his silence on Tuesday night about the scam. He refrained from naming the billionaire jeweler, the public sector bank or the central bank and questioned why the bank's external and internal auditors were unable to detect the fraud. The Prime Minister's office had also not acted on a letter sent by a whistleblower in 2016 with extensive details about the activities of Mehul Choksi and his company Gitanjali Gems. But with the scam now out in the open, will Modi, the self-proclaimed Chaukidar of the Indian economy, initiate strong action against Nirav Modi and his accomplices?